What if this light rail could take you to Los Angeles, or New York, or Chicago, all without the hassle of the airport and at a fraction of the environmental impact of flying? Recently, there has been a nationwide push to develop a high-speed rail that connects the entire country. One major factor is its convenience. To fly from one place to another, you have to drive all the way out to the airport, which is usually on the fringes of a city. Here in Denver, it's 20 minutes from the city center to the airport, and at rush hour it can take over an hour to get there. Add in all the tedious security and the fact that it's recommended you get to the airport 2 hours in advance, and the hassle of the airport is obvious. This can turn a short flight into a long day of traveling, not to mention how uncomfortable the plane seats are. The alternative is a high-speed rail that drops you off in the heart of your chosen city with limited holdups at security, check-in, and baggage. A recent study found that the train ride from Brussels to London saves travelers over 3 hours. Those 3 hours can feel precious, especially on a vacation. Trains are also considered a more comfortable form of travel, as passengers can move about the train as they please, and many trains even have cafe cars to accommodate guests and their needs. Clearly, a high-speed rail is the better travel option, especially for the US. Global warming has created a climate crisis across the world. Any bit of change we can make is worth it, especially in this state of crisis. A recent study found that high-speed rails are up to 4 times more fuel efficient. This year, there have been over 285,000 passengers going between Los Angeles and San Francisco. This has produced over 35 million kilograms of carbon emitted, while a light rail would emit just over 700,000 kilograms for the same amount of passengers. Planes produce more than 50 times more carbon emissions for the same flight. Though this change would be invaluable for the environment, some critics worry about the cost of a light rail. Many are worried about the cost of implementing a high-speed rail, especially as California's costs soar to $35 billion or $204 million per mile. This is much more than China's $21 million per mile. Reports on China's expenditures indicate that the biggest portion of spending went towards the construction of new train stations and travel hubs, but the US already has many such stations. Much of what the US has is simply underutilized, and a train could help to revitalize many communities on these routes. Many production costs can also be brought down through standardization of the design of the tracks. The current Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, has claimed that an upcoming high-speed rail between Las Vegas and Rancho Cucamonga, California, will create 35,000 jobs, or 160 jobs per mile. In California, construction has already begun on a statewide high-speed rail, creating 109 jobs per mile. When the spending to implement a high-speed rail in California is compared to the $18 billion to maintain its highways, a down payment investing in the communities along it seems worth the cost. A high-speed rail could be implemented in phases to reduce initial costs. First, some close major cities could be connected before branching out further and further until all major cities in the country are connected. Because of the climate and economic benefits, high-speed rail should be more widely implemented across the country. In the current climate crisis, preventing millions of kilograms of carbon emissions per route should be a major priority. Even if convenience and the thousands of jobs created weren't factors, the climate alone should be reason enough. But with all of this taken into consideration, there is no reason a high-speed rail shouldn't be implemented.